sit back, cause it's judging Silicon Valley. Now, give it up for your hosts, Ryan and Jeff. Woo!
All right, welcome everybody to episode 6 of Judging Silicon Valley. Of course, this is the show where we judge Mike Judge's show about Silicon Valley. I am Ryan Cronin, and of course we have Nicole. Just got the play on words of the title.
This will be a fun episode.
Yeah, super fan.
Nicole,
Oh boy.
Super
about
fan.
10 seconds later,
There we go.
delay gets every joke.
We're coming in hot.
Man.
Again, I'm
Or
Ryan
5 episodes
Cronin.
later, really.
With me here, of course, as always, is Jeff Reitman. How are you, Jeff?
Hi. Don't forget to comment on videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And hit us up at Judging SV, whatever.
Judging
Find us
SV,
on Twitter.
Find us on Facebook. You can send us if you have ideas for questions for the Scrum Masters quiz.
Which we got one this week.
We have one. We're
So.
going to play that a little bit later. So any feedback is good. But here we are, episode 6. We have 2 guests here. Very excited. We have the lovely Nicole Calisich. Nicole, how
I
are
was
you?
so glad to be here. I thought you were going to say Alex. Very lovely.
Not
is
quite,
lovely.
not quite lovely. I don't know.
He's a good-looking
Wrong
man.
one.
I feel like he did his hair today and I didn't, so you get the lovely point.
For those of you who are just listening to the audio, he looks like a poor man's Louis C.K.
Whoa.
Wait a second.
Whoa. How many years ago, though?
Wait a second.
Way to re-gift
Yesterday.
that.
And how many,
Yeah.
when he was your age. and
That's why I'm wearing a
whatever.
hat, so it can't be me this week.
So we have Nicole Calisich and Alex Pulido. Welcome.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
So what we're going to do here is kind of look at a quick recap of episode 6, certainly the most bizarre episode, in my opinion,
Definitely.
thus far. It's kind of entering into an alternate universe
Oh, that's
where
right.
people can survive without food or water for 103 hours
And-
aboard a container ship.
And if those of you who have been listening to the podcast, we're going to do the timer on Ryan.
Yeah.
How fast he can get through the recap.
Oh, I can do that.
Ooh.
I can do that. All right, ready? So this is recap of episode 6. Here we go. So basically what we have are 3 running plot lines here. First plot line is they're having some issues here. Actually, Richard's having issues in getting the cloud service configuration ready to go. They need to bring in an outsourced consultant known as the Carver. So we're going to follow that plot line. The second plot line is Tara, Guilfoyle's girlfriend, is actually real and does visit, and therefore we have a very strange sexual love. I don't know if it's a square between Guilfoyle, Tara, Dinesh, and Ehrlich. And then the last plot line is we have Jared's nightmare in the driverless car. That is episode 6. Time on
Holy
that?
shit, less than 1 minute.
Look at that. I'm
it's
getting
about
better.
Oh my
30
God.
Very
seconds.
impressed. I really wanted to interrupt
Awesome.
you the whole time.
we used
Getting
to be
better.
like 30 minutes of recap.
Yeah. I love the sound of my smooth,
And if
rich
you cut
radio
out
tones, as Nicole pointed
next
out.
week's episode, the last 30 seconds of Game of Thrones that inevitably
Yeah.
bleeds in.
Yeah.
Ryan was over the episode length on the recap usually. So.
I listen to it and masturbate, and I turn down everyone else's audio. But definitely want to pick this one apart. But with our guests here, Nicole, we can start with you. First, just out of curiosity.
Sure.
Your overall impression of this
Of the entire series?
of this series, how do you feel about it?
You know, they came out strong with that premiere episode. I've had a lot of confidence. It's great to
Sure.
see TJ get a big role. I love TJ
Miller, yes.
Same with Kamal. And I was literally looking forward to the excitement from the first episode building, but then the second was just okay.
Yeah.
The third, fourth, I was like wanting more. I feel like it's just coming back with this last episode, but like you said, there were weird
It's been uneven.
subplots. That's a very generous way to put it. Some people are bringing
Yeah.
more to the table than others, and then when they're not used enough in an episode, it really gets
Like Jin
felt.
Yang. Which might have been a racial move.
I think it was a flash in the fan. He hasn't come back since, right?
No, he's had 2
We have
episodes.
2 episodes of Jin Yang. I don't know where he is.
But he wasn't there when the Carver
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
No.
Just MIA.
Maybe
right?
the Carver carved him. Who knows?
It took me so long to remember who you were talking
Jin
about.
Yang.
Yeah.
The intern.
Yeah.
Jin Yang, yeah. And
How
out,
could you
out of
forget Jin
curiosity, Nicole, and again, not a requirement here on Judging Silicon Valley, but
What, drinking?
in your experience, of course, you're here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Nicole is a hilarious comedian here. We'll give your credentials out later.
Mm-hmm.
But your experience here with the tech industry, do you work in, around it, and how does this show relay itself to your real experience?
I used to work in it very briefly. I worked for a bunch of white-collar hackers.
White collar hackers.
white hats.
All right.
And so
They weren't growth
All right.
hackers. It's the most annoying fucking phrase ever.
hats.
And again, our rule here: you don't have to tell us company names, guess. It's really up to you.
Or what you do specifically.
really up to you.
Oh, well, I did hear the hugest douchebag from that company recently got canned.
Okay.
So I.
Oh, the
am
company
very
you worked
excited.
for.
Yeah.
How recently?
I got canned first, so I think
Oh.
he won still.
Okay. Everybody's trying to Google right now. All right.
Nicole
You'll never
everyone's,
find it.
everyone's Huluing
Buried,
it. Yeah.
buried
Douche.
under lots of
Huluing
things.
it.
company.
Nice.
Okay, so in your so you're coming from an informed place.
Yeah, a
This
little
show
bit.
realistic in your opinion?
Well, it was. Oh my god! Now I'm going to sound like a douche. It was like a
Too late.
boutique firm, and then it got bought out by a bigger company.
You're right. You sound like a douche.
I do.
yeah.
And so I think like the intense competitiveness between companies was really felt when it got bought out. But when it was boutique, it was more like a lot of nerdy pranks happening all the time
right.
at work.
All right.
People were really into it. The most realistic thing was the presence of Tara in this episode.
Okay.
Bringing a girl into an office that is mostly nerd dudes really
Disruptive.
does disrupt them that much.
yeah.
I was like, oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that really well.
She has boobs. Yeah, I gotcha.
Toes are off, right?
Well, yeah.
Hose the Guilfoyle off.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're like the thing. That's the weirdest thing because you think it's a big exaggeration. You think they're just like playing up a joke about nerds or whatever. Like, no, that really does happen. Like, I have definitely had to steer people away who are visiting or just sit away.
There's sweat beating on Jeff's brow right now, sitting this close to you. So it's, something's happening. Oh, hair in strange places.
My wife doesn't talk to me.
I don't know why you went with that voice again. I don't know.
Not far away.
Okay, that's good insight.
Right now.
Alex, how about you?
I'm growth
Let
hacking.
Jeff get it out of his system. Here we go.
So
It
growth
was
hacking.
just a Twitch. I think you just really outed yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really tired. What,
Uh-oh.
Twitch? What about Twitch?
Uh-oh.
I was
Company name.
watching
What?
Twitch
He's talking about muscle
all
spasms,
day.
not an actual company. In
Now,
San
let me
Francisco.
say,
I do not work there.
There is a
Doesn't
streamer at Twitch that if I need to take a nap, I put him on, and I'm asleep in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
He's a really popular game streamer.
Oh.
But yeah,
Interesting.
he's like the Bob Ross of fucking video game.
I just love how this is all coming out. I do not work there. Just so you know.
I actually felt Alex's sphincter pucker, where it's he
Yikes.
doesn't work there.
I do not work
He
there.
doesn't work there, so we can talk
Yet?
about them.
I don't
but
work
No,
there
no,
either.
just-
I don't think
Nobody
anyone
works
here
there. Nobody
works
in
there.
that place has never existed ever.
It's not real.
It's not really Twitch. It's Justin.tv.
It's the Kaiser Soze of tech companies. It's true. Alex, how about you? Your insight, your involvement within the real Silicon Valley tech and all that.
Well, I am in the real Silicon
You
Valley
are
as it is today.
You
I'm
are.
a technical recruiter down there. So I have some insight. I mean, I'm not as in the weeds as say an engineer or some of these other people, but I do look for these types.
These other people disdain.
No. There's no disdain whatsoever. No,
That's
they-
Because I was going to shank you.
Yeah.
But as far as how I feel the show has gone, I feel that there are some truths. I feel that obviously there's some gross exaggerations.
Sure.
And it is very ebb and flow at this point. I think that as a series that's just starting out, it definitely had one of the stronger starts I've seen in a new show. And it has teetered, but I think this last episode was so weird. I'm still trying to actually collect my thoughts on whether I
Yeah.
liked it
It's
or
so
not.
strange because
Yeah.
it seems like they did a great pilot and then they freaked out about like we need a lot of setup, and then
Yeah.
they just derailed completely from all their setting.
Yeah, exactly.
It
It's been
makes no
nothing but exposition, and then this episode, which was fun, but again, kind of going into wacky Seinfeld sitcom territory, where it's just, you can't have it both ways. Unless, of course, you're going for something like the Louis Show on FX, where each episode is its own self-contained universe. Sure, I don't think that's really what's happening here. And
No.
again, 103 hours on a container ship without a bathroom, food, or water.
This was
I don't-
also the first episode without Peter Gregory.
It's true.
You're right.
And
I
the
didn't
way
think
they
about that.
wrote
He
him
did-
out
he did
was just
growl.
awkward.
Very awkward.
He's like, he's traveling.
Oh.
But I'm on the phone with him. Don't worry about
and they
it.
used this
Yeah, I did like that.
from the previous episode. I guess that's the solution.
Now, I don't know if they had, like...
Is he pregnant? That's what they do with pregnant actors.
Oh, there we go.
We'll see in episode 7. Maybe there was some stuff they had to write out last minute. It's possible.
Or they go a Weekend at Bernie's route and use his dead corpse. I think that
That's
was
pretty
with
cool.
shades.
I think that'd be inappropriate.
Why?
Is that disrespectful to Bernie?
If
Or the
they use
dance-
that
the
holographic,
the sequel, Weekend at Bernie's.
the
too.
holographic phone call thing, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is-
Telehuman. Yeah.
His brain in an AI as a hologram.
They're going full Krang. Full Krang. All right.
Nerd.
I know. All right. So those are our overall impressions. Let's break this one down and kind of talk about what's brought up, what's real, what isn't real. First, of course, it opens with the return of Andrew Daly as the Doctor. Always happy to see him. Very quick role there.
And this is where Ryan
Is he like
sneaks the
an
recap back in
improv
again.
guy or something in the
Recap
background?
back in.
Exactly.
Say again?
Is he like an improv actor in his background or
He
something?
is.
He feels like it.
I think he was with UCB. He's on Comedy Bang Bang a lot. He plays
Okay.
different characters.
Yeah.
He was on. He was the principal in Eastbound and Down.
That's a dental thing.
Yeah. What UCB?
No. That was one of his lines
That's,
in the
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So one of the plot lines here is the cloud service configuration. All right, Richard can't figure this out. I've done my best to wrap my head around exactly what the cloud is. I think everyone has their version of what it is.
No, there's just one version.
There's just one version.
There's just one version.
Alex? What is the cloud?
No,
What
I'm
is
not-
the cloud?
No, I want to hear what your thoughts are first, and then I'll just tell you if I think you're right or not.
I would say the easiest way of defining what the cloud is rather than save your files on a physical hard drive. Okay, I'm already out. Whoa.
Okay, podcast over, everybody.
looks at judgment. Well, thank you for listening to Judging Silicon
Judging
Valley.
Ryan Cronin.
All right.
Meanwhile, half
So-
our audience just stopped listening.
They just stopped listening to me. Well,
Except you didn't say bye.
not yet. But that take on it, I don't think I'm alone in that. I would think most uninformed, non-tech
Consumer
people
facing.
think that.
Yeah, I could see it.
It's true. And that one Super Bowl ad that ran that had the word cloud in it, and everyone looked into it like, what? Oh, we've
Well, they
heard
also
that. What does that
they're
mean?
kind of a little whatchamacallit, all over the place with it. They call it the cloud infrastructure configuration at one point, and then they're just like, we need to figure out cloud. And then it's like, I need to figure out gin. Like, really badly now. So I don't know where they were going at the time.
All right. But apparently, I mean, this is a challenge for Richard. Now, Richard is, I guess, again, he's a pseudo genius. He's created this amazing lossless compression algorithm, but he can't figure it out. Now, why is that so challenging to him?
I actually don't
favorite-
even understand how that happened. Like, I thought that it was in the cloud already, but apparently it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. So here's where I didn't believe it. Is like he just started this, let's say a year ago. Just for giggles, a year ago he started making this. He's young enough in the show that he would have been aware of the cloud and how. Like, you fucking Google search that shit. How to get my shit to run on the cloud. Google App Engine, throw Pied Piper on there, you're done.
Duh.
No, but it should have. My point is, this is where, as a programmer, I was like, dude, I don't. It's like, how are you not aware of hybrid cars at this point? Oh, yeah, I didn't know. There was batteries? What?
Taught myself Ruby in a weekend, but I don't know the cloud, right? That was his line.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was exactly
That
his
is
line.
unbelievable. That is unbelievable to me, the combination of those two. Now, meanwhile, Nicole's like, a derpy derp.
I get all of this. I invented a cloud. I am the cloud.
You are
didn't
the
know
cloud.
about that.
That's
Yeah.
what the cloud is.
It's amazing all those bits fit inside of Nicole.
I know.
but
Woof.
Very popular.
That's what
Yeah, I know.
he said. Gross. The
So I
cloud is
think-
just a voluptuous Latino woman.
Yes. Voluptuous. I was trying to think of that word today in describing Ehrlich's pool scene. Was voluptuous.
He was, you know what?
Voluptuous.
You know,
Here's
we
the thing.
word.
forgot to
Ehrlich
do, by the way?
shirtless, less weird than Ehrlich with a
Turn
shirt
on the lights.
What do we do about that? We're gonna
Turn them on.
Turn down the lights.
We're gonna change the whole
Whoa.
everything. There we go. Now we're gonna start sweating. Okay.
Now
It's
I look
hot.
16 instead of my regular 14.
I am 14, going on 16.
What's wrong with my child?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. All right. So this whole thing about the cloud, I think that is more of, just as I was confused about what it is more of a pandering to an audience that's uninformed about it and saying, well, it's the cloud. Look how it's challenging. It's the most challenging.
They could have put in any bullshit technical term and probably achieved the same thing with most of the audience, other than the tech audience.
That's true.
Do you think this has a big tech audience?
I know it.
Audience?
Well, okay, I'm
is
skewed,
a
right? Because I'm a
self-obsessed group.
programmer.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are programmers.
Sure.
But based on who's following us on Facebook and Twitter, yes, it's got a lot of a tech following.
Got it.
Is that the whole audience? Probably not. It comes after Game of Thrones.
It's definitely not. I tried
Right?
to tell a Silicon Valley joke in Los Angeles this last weekend,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, I don't understand anything. Programmers haven't taken over here yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
That's true.
Los Angeles is its own little bubble. What you really need is like Omaha
Food Network
as
jokes,
a test,
though.
right? Yeah, Food Network jokes.
Omaha is always a good test. Period.
Omaha steak jokes go over well
yeah.
in Omaha.
It's also my safe word. Omaha.
Omaha!
Omaha. All right. So again, we have this the Carver, right? Who's Kevin, who I'm assuming is a 16, 17-year-old boy. Note here is they go and he gets a $20,000 fee to help them do the cloud configuration, right? That goes the wrong way. But one line here, I did my research. I did my Ryan Cronin research.
Well,
I did my Ryan
Meaning
Cronin research.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, well, I had to go deeper than Wikipedia this time.
He had to follow the references.
I did. I had to follow
he
the
clicked some hyperlinks.
annotations. Exactly.
Ryan Cronin, PhD.
I certainly am not. But he references, Kevin says, well, you know who turned down my fee? BitRaptor.
Yes.
And
that's right.
Richard says, who? And he goes, exactly. Now, this is actually being picked up on Twitter feeds. People are laughing of
Really?
like, what a funny line. So I'm like, what the fuck is BitRaptor? BitRaptor's real. It's hard to find information on this. Apparently 2010, it's basically a transmission gearbox
That's right, I
that
remember.
gathers energy. I think at one point Bill Gates was backing, but now the website looks like something from 1996. I don't know what happened, but I guess that's
Was
the
it
joke.
using blink text and fucking?
It looks like garbage. Bitraptor.com. Look it up. It's real. It's based in Italy. But I guess this is some super inside joke as to they didn't go with the Carver, and now
I didn't
look
even
what
get
happened to them. I don't know, but it's these hidden references in this show.
I'm
That's
so
what's
mad
neat
that
about
this
the
didn't
show.
end up being like an 8-bit Jurassic Park gift. that you
Raptor, yeah, Raptor. I'd play that. I think I did play that.
Sounds very
there
adorable.
was a pretty terrible Jurassic Park game.
There was?
Yeah, it was wretched. Steven Spielberg got behind
Okay.
it. They publicized the hell out of it. Trespasser was the name of the game.
Trespasser.
You were trespassing at Jurassic Park.
It never opened.
Great,
Strange.
it's a great premise.
Yeah.
It was
Very
still
strange.
a place. I mean, you could fly that island today and go visit it and see the
Isla
dinosaurs.
Nublar, I would in a heartbeat.
But yeah, it was a terrible game. It sold like nothing. It was the ET of its time.
Oh boy.
And that's a reference only some will get.
Trespasser.
Yeah.
All right.
Which, by the
That
way,
is
they
a
just,
really
I
bad
doubt that's on
name.
Steam,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay.
they just did dig up the ET
That's right.
trash dump.
In New Mexico,
Not too
right?
long ago, yeah. Because there was this myth.
Is that
Nicole's
like
giving
code?
us this look.
I'm so confused. It
There's
just sounds
this
like a
shitty-
code for dumpstered babies.
No,
It is kind of. Yeah.
they did throw it out with the bathwater in a way. They made this horrible ET game for the Atari. Made a ton of cartridges, right? Because they're old school cartridges.
Right.
No one
Tight,
bought it
tight.
because it was terrible, and they
Not
had
so
nothing
tight.
to do with it.
It's almost
rumor was-
unplayable. It doesn't even work.
Rumor was that they took all those cartridges and threw them in a dump site at New Mexico. Turns out that rumor is true.
Area
Someone
51.
actually dug it up,
Oh, that's
and there's
so lame.
literally thousands of ET cartridges. Anyway,
That's
off
so
topic.
sad.
There you go. Not necessarily.
Where's the
but-
Netflix documentary
Not necessarily.
about this?
Bring it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yeah, that's what's going on there with the Carver, with the kid there. Apparently, we learned that.
How old is he supposed to be?
He looks like he's.
They
like
don't say. I would
16.
guess.
He never said.
yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I would guess he's a child prodigy of some sort.
He's
Yeah.
got after
Alleged.
He said he had a
child
Model
prodigy.
UN thing.
Model UN thing.
That
he lives
is
with his mom.
Solid sophomore year of high school.
And if he knew about
Not
BitRaptor,
junior?
that's at least 2010, which
Kinda give
again
up on
kind
it
of
by
bothers
then.
me with the math there. But there you have it. All right, so that's going on with Richard and the Carver, and then we have this weird sex love triangle happening with Guilfoyle. His girlfriend Tara is in town. He lies to Dinesh. We learn.
Why did you say sex love triangle? I'm sorry, I was going to try to let it go, but I can't.
It's not necessarily a love triangle. It's really
but
just
why
about
did you?
physical.
Why can't it just be a sex triangle?
Well,
Do you
sex
have to be in love for your threesome?
Is sex triangle a word? I don't know.
Yeah, lust
We're creating
triangle,
it right now.
maybe?
Sex
Lust
triangle.
triangle. I think
Because there was no
good.
intercourse on at least one party's part.
Right.
Sorry, people are
Yeah.
trying to bang. Okay.
People are trying to bang, and again, this is why this
Bang
is a very
triangle.
weird
I
episode.
like that.
6 is a very weird episode. They go to the satanic baptism.
I thought that was pretty cool.
The best scene ever.
Yeah, Stu Burns, the database administrator from Yahoo, couldn't find that name, so I don't know if Stu Burns is real. I don't know. I'm going to put it out there.
If you're Stu Burns,
There's
please
always
email
hidden
us.
references. I couldn't find Stu Burns anywhere, including LinkedIn. All right, I even used LinkedIn Recruiter. to try to
F.
find
We
it.
went deep.
I did go
You didn't
deep.
have
I'm
an
not
invitation to connect with Stu Burns.
I did go
Man.
deep. Well, you know, I think it was 2
Ryan
degrees
is
of separation. I'm working on it.
out of the
I'm
loop.
working on it. I
I'll
am
give
out
you
of the loop.
$0 if you create that LinkedIn account and connect to Ryan.
Yes. And use the picture of the naked guy being baptized on the show as your profile picture. I like that. Any thoughts on this whole plot line with the sex triangle, as we're calling it? I'm going to call it a sex parallelogram
Just
because Ehrlich wants in on it too.
real quick
Sexuality?
insertion into this triangle.
Please insert.
Please
insert. Lube first.
That was more of TJ Miller than I ever wanted to see.
I thought it looked great.
Yeah. It was definitely a Fast
sure-
Times at Ridgemont High Phoebe Cates pool
A little.
scene
It was
going
so
on.
good.
Yeah.
An homage.
Do you think did he have like 2 clean shaven patches in his beard the whole time? Or was
He's
that
always
just-
had
He always
that.
has.
He's-
Yeah.
and the
I
one
didn't
side
notice
is
it
uneven.
shit
Yeah.
the time.
Strange
It's
thing.
the-
I know.
Okay.
Right side.
I only noticed it in the whipping of the hair. I was like, I like that touch.
Yeah. The satanic baptism, did we all pick up on the Chick-fil-A reference and what was going on with
Yes.
Chick-fil-A?
Yes.
The Christian right.
Yeah, that's a nice hidden reference there. I'm sure the Dark Lord wouldn't mind. Yeah, Chick-fil-A there. Everybody, what this? Who is the owner of Chick-fil-A?
don't-
Is Christian Wright and
You're the Wikipedia guy.
They close on Sundays.
well, they
I know
close up,
that.
but this is a big
Made me
deal.
sad
This
as a
maybe a year
teenager.
ago. Very anti-gay remarks from the
Right,
owner of
right.
Chick-fil-A. That was the whole thing. But the satanic baptism feels bad, but they like the chicken, so they're going to have Chick-fil-A. What's going on in that scene there?
That was such a great little insight that you added.
Well, you know, full of Easter eggs. I'm full of something.
You missed
all right.
Dinesh's great line. See?
Dinesh's
just
great line that
useless.
he's the Pakistani Denzel.
That was pretty
Yes.
good.
Best line.
That's a pretty good
My
line.
nickname, my nickname as a child was Paxton. So good.
My face is perfectly symmetrical. What are you talking about?
Ah, that's good. Yeah.
No, but the what did he say? I think I ate too much of that Satanist chicken or
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking perfect line.
Well, that when they return from the satanic baptism, we learn that the carver, Kevin the Kid,
Is
really makes mistakes, and he made mistakes at Bank
Choppy
of America.
Carver
Yeah,
said it.
So here's where again we're going to get deep here. I guess that he overwrote the entire data scheme of
Schema.
Pied Piper schema, and both. Dinesh and Guilfoyle are very upset of why would you give that fetus access to the DDL?
Why?
The DDL. The fetus.
The fetus.
The DDL.
see, that's a line I missed.
the fetus.
The
line?
fetus?
Yeah, the fetus line.
It was repeated.
Yeah.
Very upset. Why did you let the fetus have access to the DDL? Now, as far as I know, that is data definition language, which apparently is used in defining data structures within a website
Via a language.
via a language.
A data definition language, one might say.
So, what would be an example of a data definition language?
MySQL? Or SQL? MySQL is actually the tech stack, but SQL, yeah.
Would that be Perl, Python, things
No,
like
it's
that?
its
what we
own
talked
little
about?
syntax
All right.
crap. No one cares.
So-
Nicole's falling asleep.
Yeah, a little bit.
But again, we always do our fact checking here. In giving the fetus access to the
You're going-
DDL, that is a bad thing. That's
It's not something that you would want anyone to have access to. It's like giving someone your credit card information. You just don't do it. It's not a.
you just don't do it.
You give like one person. You're like, here's wife. don't buy anything on it, but here's my credit card.
Especially because he
Did you
was.
say wife?
Yeah, that's-
that got weird. That got really weird.
No, but I'm saying you only give it to your. You're not like here,
If
random
you lived in
comedian.
1956
I've
and
met
we're a
once.
computer programmer.
Oh man,
You guys.
guys.
Jeff
come
has a
on,
lot of
you
nice
guys.
things. A happy relationship is not one of them.
There's a lot of booze over here. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
He
Medication, I
needs his
call it.
scotch, his pipe, and his slippers, and there you go.
This and it's that bonehead mistake that makes me happy that he gets slapped by that little kid, which I'm sure we're going to get to later.
Sure.
But
Best scene in the show.
Totally the best scene.
yeah, it's definitely up there. No, but I mean, you're paying somebody $20,000 to do a specific function. Why you don't have them touch anything else, right? Doesn't even make any sense.
Which was Richard's mistake. He asked him to do
It's
it.
full of mistakes.
Was
it
that?
is
Do you think it was like a small insight into how they all feel like insecure teenagers or something? Like it took like a nerdy teenager to just act like he's like so much better to make
Oh,
Richard insecure
yeah.
enough
Oh, yeah.
to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
That get real.
That got. I'm crying right now.
Yeah.
You hurt me right here.
It is
Do we
very
all need to
real.
hold hands?
It
It's
is
okay.
very real. Yeah.
Just
yeah.
me, because I'm lonely. Anyway,
Don't touch that palm. Oh, you didn't listen to last week.
Yeah,
Don't touch
about the
that
gooey?
one.
Cover.
It's gooey. It's gooey. Oh.
Wiping it on Alex.
now I was gonna say
Gotta
about
take
this
some
too.
OxyClean to this.
I
yeah.
think everyone can relate at some level that someone comes with a certain pedigree, and then you find out that they're crap. I mean, even
the
as
worst.
comics,
Mm-hmm.
even as comics, we're like, oh, this person's been at Gotham, right?
Right.
And then you find out like they're terrible, and they just did one show that was like a giveaway
someone like
or
did them
something.
a favor or something.
Someone did
yeah.
him a favor, but
Yeah.
yes, while technically it's true
They were like, I was in the audience at Gotham. and
that
now
this
it's
kid did
like
bring
that.
down
Yeah.
Bank of America, technically, we find out it was as an employee, and it was a mistake. He wasn't doing it intentionally, and I've definitely worked with people.
I
Not
was gonna
that
ask
egregious.
that, all right, they
but
come
that,
in,
like,
they're supposed to be the shit. And they
You look
get
at the
there.
resume, and then you're like, you didn't actually do this. No, it was like I told someone what to do, or he did it, and I was there.
Yeah,
That's like 9 out of every 10 people I talk to
Right? Like,
as a
it's a
recruiter.
lot of fucking frauds.
this is an exaggeration for
Yeah.
sure, but it does happen where you get duped in working with or hiring people, even in comedy. I mean, we've certainly had people on our show that have been pretty terrible that came recommended.
I don't know who you could be talking
Goodness.
about.
Nicole.
I don't know who you could be talking about. Nicole.
White
I mean, do you agree?
Do I?
Have you ever had to run a
Do you
show?
agree about your own talent?
Yeah, do you agree that you suck?
I've
That's
been
not what he's
working really
asking.
hard.
It's not what he's asking.
You don't know me,
not what
Do
he's
I agree?
asking.
I'm really snobby and nitpicky, and I totally like just check backgrounds big time for comedy stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, I agree
Is that why you've never had me on any show you've produced? Not to bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did some background checking, and
runs
Oh
the most
no!
popular
What
room
is
in town.
happening?
I found nothing.
found absolutely nothing.
No, you don't exist according to the internet.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not
Yeah.
into that.
It's
that
weird.
much.
She actually uses Ken Townsend's Twitter handle, which is really strange.
For those of you who might
Yosemite
remember,
Sam at Angry Yosemite Sam. No, it's not. It's
Isn't
Monkey
it Ken
What?
Townsend with no vowels?
Monkey Junction.
Monkey Junction.
Oh, yeah.
It's Monkey
Anyway.
Junction.
My big career goal is to get Dave Ross to make racistcomedian.com about me.
All right.
That's like my favorite
All right.
joke anyone's done to anybody.
Awesome.
He did it
awesome.
to Hari Kondabolu of all people, which is
I
so
like
good.
Hari.
But to
Yeah.
have anybody have an entire website designed after them called racistcomedian.com, that's probably the best one you could have done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love poor man's Louis C.K. I mean, I will take that if
Yeah.
it's just like a fan
It's
site
probably
to me.
taken. It's probably taken.
Yeah.
It is. By Red Scott.
But Pulido's already got it.
No,
Jumped on it. I'm already uploading photos.
Hey. All right. So again, we learned that Kevin, the carver, has wrecked everything. They got to stay up all night, go through this line by line. So, but the secret of the carver is his Adderall. All right, and he's out of the Adderall. Well, Jared's going to pick it up. We'll get to him to wrap it up. But
To pick up Adderall?
to pick up an Adderall, so he's going to get the
prescription.
signature from Peter.
I swear
and
I
to
just
get the
zoned
Adderall
out.
prescription. Yeah.
Through like minutes of this episode.
This is where Jared is, and he's taking the driverless car home, and that goes horribly awry. But prior to that, Richard goes out to ask the neighborhood kids, "Hey, does anyone have any Adderall?" And ends up getting smacked across the face and picked on and goes home and starts crying.
The slap heard round the world.
God.
And so Ehrlich, again, being the Steve Jobs to his Wozniak, his words, fresh out of the pool in a robe, looking very Big Lebowski, goes out to defend
Best line.
his son. Anybody want to take this as far as what happens as he comes out to confront these kids who are picking on Richard?
You just brought piss to a shit fight, kid. Slaps a kid across the face. Most brilliant thing I've ever
Yes.
seen in my whole life.
Throws his bike
Throws his
over
bike
the
over the
bush.
fence.
Throws his bike in a bush, says he's going to kill his mother,
Yes.
rape his father, and
Yes.
then curb stomp his stupid little face right until his teeth fly out. I love
Explode.
it. I don't even think he said the word explode. He's just like gestured
Yes,
the explosion. It was unbelievable.
Now go get me some Adderall.
5 Adderalls. I think that
Yeah,
was,
I think it was
the
5, yeah.
Don't give me your bottle. Just 5 Adderalls. They don't want any for themselves later. It was
Yeah.
just so adorable. So specific.
And these are the same kids who, in the beginning of the episode, were trying to take donations, right? So they're swindlers
For their church,
for their church group, right?
Yes, yeah. They're the neighborhood shit starters.
Yes.
I don't even know. See, like when they were first in the episode, I didn't even. I thought it was just a time for Ehrlich to make some kind of like offhanded remark because they like to throw stuff in there for him to say things. It was
Which
nice
is
to see
probably
them come
totally
back
off
at the end
script. Yeah.
as like actually relevant to the episode.
Yeah.
Even. Well, I guess it was awesome that Richard got slapped in the face at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I went to high school in it's pretty
Oh my
much
God, I
the
thought you were
hood.
going to say you went to high school with that guy.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
oh my God, let's know everything.
No, I went to high school in the hood, and that exact trick, the hand in the pocket, slap in the face, that happened in the hallways every day.
Really?
Oh, it was, yeah, it touched me. It pulled at the heart, tugged at the heartstrings. I was like,
Where
oh
in
my
the hood
God.
did you go to school?
In the hood, the San Francisco hood.
In the hood,
The hood.
Pacific
hood.
Heights
Quote-unquote
area.
Oh, yeah, that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
When
just
they-
like the Michael Keaton movie. It's a scary place. No, it's not. Pacific Heights is not.
But Richard deserved it. Richard's deserved it for like 5 episodes.
it
at
needed
this
to happen.
point.
How has no one slapped him up to
Yeah.
now?
Well, it took a little kid, but yeah. I agree with that.
Including duty fired. That wasn't enough of a big thing.
So that's all happening there, and again, they get the Adderall, and they're able to fix everything, and that's kind of the end of that plot line. Meanwhile, this whole time, Jared, we'll talk about this finally, needs to get a signature from Peter Gregory in order to pay the $20,000 of the carver, and also is picking up the prescription. And so Monica says, no, you don't need to take Lyft. Definitely I think Lyft is everywhere now, but I think
Don't
it
even.
came out of San Francisco. I'm not sure. But no, you can take Peter's car, which is one of the driverless cars, which I know they're working on. They do exist. I don't think they're really road ready to just take a ride somewhere. But the car gets confused with its GPS because it's supposed to get packed up to go to the island that Peter Gregory is building. Erlon, I believe, is the name of the island.
I didn't think it got confused. I thought it was summoned.
I
it
thought,
was like override,
yeah.
Could have been
right?
summoned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Said
my impression was
override.
Peter Gregory's like, I want my car on the island, and sent it a command, and it
Oh, my impression
Yeah.
was like someone hacked it. I was like, oh, that's going to come up later.
I thought it was because of the automation thing, right? Because the island was on the international date line, so half of it was tomorrow and the other half was today, right? Wasn't that the justification?
Yes, good point.
So it happened a
so
day
many
early, right?
possibilities.
Good point.
but none of us agree with Ryan. Can we all agree
no,
on that?
No one ever does. No one ever does. But long story short, Jared
Yeah,
is...
pick on Ryan.
Yeah, it's fine. I can take it. He's trapped in this car, but with his politeness is what traps him because he can't... Monica, I just...
Nice.
Hello, Mr. Carr. His politeness has trapped him into a shipping container. There's men closing the doors. He's still too polite to... but please... And is shipped for a 103-hour journey, trapped in a car with no bathroom, food or water. It gets out on the island, which is completely automated, and it ends with him as is calming. He's singing "Sailing" by Christopher Cross, and it ends with him screaming on a robotic island. This is where, again, this episode has gone completely bonkers, but fun. I think we all kind of want to watch Jared be harmed. He's kind of the beaker to the Dr. Bunsen honeydew, if you ask me. You want to see him get trapped in these situations.
Profound.
I actually think he's like the better of the character actors in all of them. TJ's kind of playing himself.
Yeah, true.
Kamal,
Does
same
anyone
thing.
know that though.
I've hung out with TJ.
Yeah, but you've seen TJ. You've hung out with TJ. Does anyone who's actually watching the show know that TJ Miller's not?
I think as a general rule, a stand-up is usually not going to be playing something very far from themselves.
True, their acting skills are usually not the highest. I was trying to be generous.
I'm trying to think of horrible examples right now.
No, I did a web web video shoot from someone I knew, and it was like a comedy. I was
Never
terrible.
names, never
I
names.
was terrible, terrible. It hasn't been shown. Probably never will. But if I was playing myself, I'd be like, yeah, I can be a dick to everybody. That's easy. It's totally
so
easy.
natural.
Yeah, got this nail.
That's not acting.
It's not acting, but that's why you hire TJ Miller to
Yeah.
be TJ Miller.
Yeah.
Alex has known
Yeah.
Jeff now for I think 35 minutes, and he's saying it's not acting.
It's not acting.
that's- It's coming across, Jeff. It's coming across. All right. Well, that was the episode. Any final thoughts on the episode before we jump into the Scrum Masters quiz here? Anybody?
Who do you want to see more of? Who do you want to see less of?
Jared, I want to
More
see more
Jared.
of.
Yeah, definitely.
More Jared. I think
I like more Dinesh.
the Dinesh versus Guilfoyle is fun to watch.
It's
I want
fun.
them to one up it a little bit more.
I could
where
use
it gets
more Jin Yang.
ridiculous.
We miss Jin
Jeff can
Yang.
definitely use more Jin
We
Yang.
miss
More Jin Yang. Yeah.
I surprisingly miss Jin Yang. I eat the fish.
Yeah.
I don't need Monica. Why is she even there? She's gonna bang Richard eventually, obviously.
I know.
That
I
And
know.
unless
It
it's
started
graphic,
happening.
I don't
Yeah,
see what the
I know.
point is.
Really? You
It's
just
totally
want to see her
unrealistic
naked?
too.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
I just feel like it's not going to be exciting no matter what.
No.
It's true.
Like the topic.
I want more Peter Gregory wearing shades and a Hawaiian shirt,
Which is unlikely to happen.
being controlled by Andrew McCarthy.
That sucks. He was like my favorite character on the show.
Yeah, he was. He was
I just
like,
want
I
Andrew
would have
McCarthy
said
to
Peter
guess.
Gregory.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what is, because now we can see they're using sound bites that was from a previous episode.
Yeah.
If it's just going to be him on phones, I guess it has
Is
to be.
this like when they switched Dumbledores?
switching
this guy
Dumbledore,
dead?
switching
Is this guy dead?
Darren's? Yeah, I don't
I
know
would-
what's going to happen.
I would not be at all surprised if this episode was a panic episode and then they recover in the next episode with an actual plot line that resolves it.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't be surprised if they just punt on it for the whole season.
Yeah,
I
I
like-
could see that happening. He technically doesn't need to be. I don't know. They could probably
He
write
could
around
be
it.
like a Dr. Claw from now on, as you just never see him again, but he's controlling.
Just see a hand and a cat.
Yeah, he's wearing an iron glove for some reason. Yeah.
It's like from South Park, right? When Isaac Hayes didn't want to be in it anymore, and then they turned on him and turned him into a pedophile. Remember,
Yeah,
Chef?
yeah.
And then they used sound bites
use
and
those
strung
sound
them
bites.
together to make him sound like a total
I like
perv.
that he said
Yeah.
pedophile Jeff.
Again,
Those were his words.
he's known you for 38 minutes.
Chef. I said
and
chef.
He's already into
No,
that.
Jeff. You said Jeff.
didn't-
I heard it.
yeah.
Well, Jeff's hearing what he
Freudian.
wants to
Speaking
hear.
the gospel
Yeah,
truth.
He is. He is.
Sorry.
All right, guys. Well, it's time
It's
to
not
play
untrue.
the Scrum Masters quiz. Are we ready? Scrum Masters quiz. Here we go
What's
with
Scrum?
Have Calisich.
You don't need to
Oh,
know.
and Alex
Have you
Pulido.
listened to the podcast?
Yeah.
No.
She's lying. Nobody
Okay.
listens
I
to the podcast.
started and then
So
it
You don't
didn't
know.
work.
here's the important
No,
part.
you didn't.
Ryan's going to ask 3 questions to each of the guests
Here they
and
are.
me about tech. You don't necessarily have to answer correctly. Ideally,
Yes, 42069. That's my answer
no.
right now. Okay, sorry.
Ideally, you don't answer correctly.
Oh, okay.
Because Ryan's never going
Only
to
the
accept
last
your
one
answer.
Okay, so
That's right. The
I
more
am gonna
ridiculous
go
the
with
answer,
it.
the better. If you want to give the right answer, go for it.
Okay.
But you'll
we'll
be
see
wrong.
What happens? You'll be
So-
wrong. You'll be
Okay.
wrong. I'm always right in the Scrum Masters quiz. Here we go. Episode 6,
Got it.
Scrum Masters quiz. Our first question. This is actually submitted by a listener. Twitter handle at area code 212. Area code spelled out. Thank you at area code 212.
Are they a hoe in that area code?
The Twitter
They got something there. I
profile
don't
did
know.
not
Yeah.
say, but we're not going to exclude the possibility.
Yeah.
Confirm, deny.
Well,
What was the picture?
according to the question that they submitted, I'm going to go probably not a hoe or has hoes, because this is a very geeky question.
It
I
is.
don't know what
So
you're trying to
not
get
a
out
hoe.
of
It's a
this.
businessy question.
So this is really going to be on the
Say-
comedians to do the heavy lifting on this one.
Wannabe hoe. Sorry.
Here comes the question: what is a DCF valuation? That's the joke question that at area code 212. What is a DCF
I'll start
valuation? Go for it, Jeff.
because the guests are looking confused.
Go for it.
It's a Latin phrase
Yeah.
for
Down cakes forever. Sorry, go ahead.
you're
Wow.
close.
Wow.
I was going to say duck a kiss, come a kiss, forever a kiss.
Oh, wow.
That actually values how much money it's worth for unlimited duck cum.
Duck cum.
in the Roman Empire.
I was like, oh, that sounds like a gross joke. Oh, I think he sounds really legitimate. I'm going to learn something.
No,
and then I learned you're gross.
Duck cum was the truffle salt of ancient Rome. So
Yes, it
is
was.
True.
They used that as a topping on many dishes.
They did.
They hadn't invented tomato sauce at the time, so it was just duck semen everywhere.
Yeah, it uses a lube for the young boys as well. So that's Jeff's guess. Nicole jumped in here. What did you go with?
I'm a little horrified. Sorry, keep
That's
going.
too late. It's too late. It's going to get worse.
Don't worry, you're sitting next to me.
There's the voice now. All right, we better hurry up. Alex is looking at the answer over my shoulder. You're not allowed to do that.
It's DCF
Valuation.
A DCF valuation.
Valuation clues you in. It's a business term at the end of the day, but
Emotional.
I want to say
valuation.
that the CF is like cake farts.
Cake farts? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know what the D
Dose?
would be.
those cake farts.
So what is the value of 2 cake farts? 2.
But
The
yeah,
answer's 2. The answer's 2.
Nicole,
Depends
anything?
on the fart.
I win.
DCF valuation. This will be Nicole's guess.
Okay, we did silly. Should I do serious?
No.
We can give it a shot.
Could be
I didn't know what
Very
this was.
serious.
I picked that up on
Yeah.
the
There
mic.
we go.
It did.
Yeah.
Is that your answer?
That's it.
That was one cake fart actually in the microphone. And if I get one more, that's dose cake farts. Okay, these are all great guesses, but some people think that it's discounted cash flow valuation, meaning this is the value of a company or asset using the
Those are
concept
people who
of
can
time
party.
value of money, which is its
Oh,
own
man.
definition itself. Some people think that's what it is.
Like Wikipedia.
What is it
Yeah.
really?
But what it really is,
Now Ryan's had like 4 hours.
but I
on
didn't.
this.
I forgot to think of
and
something,
4
so it's going to happen
bourbons.
right now. What it really is Domino's can, and then it's a silent M for make you fart. That's what it is. That's what I'm going with. But it's
That
actually
was terrible.
That was terrible
Nicole's-
because
That was a lot
dose
of
cake
buildup.
farts. I joined in on the dose cake farts. We're going to go with dose cake
Nicole's
farts. That was
sound
terrible.
was better
That
than your
was.
wordy explanation.
That was all right.
That's
all right.
un cake fart.
We're gonna spend- Thank you at area code 212. I hope that was good for you. All right.
That's what she said.
Our second question here in the Scrum Masters quiz. We're all tied
No.
up. I don't know how that happened.
You're so proud of yourself.
What?
I'm laughing.
Here it comes. What is sandboxing? What is sandboxing? Okay, anybody want to jump in here? What is sandboxing?
It is when you get really coarsely grained flour, throw in someone's asshole, and then perform anal.
Oh, sandboxing.
Sandboxing.
That makes sense.
Sandboxing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very Mediterranean. Sandboxing.
Has to be coarse though.
Okay.
Not fine.
Very coarse, yeah.
Then it's ghosting.
Ghosting. Was that with a powder or white powder?
Fine flour. Yeah.
Fine. Okay, I got it. Okay. I like the sound of that. I don't know. Nicole, any thoughts on
I mean,
what
I
is
also
sandboxing?
went gross. I went with a different box, but it's just like
sure.
an irritable vagina. I think that is a polite
Sandboxing?
term between ladies. Why you got a sandy vagina today?
Yeah.
Like,
So what
why
would
in
be
a bad mood?
sandboxing?
A box is a vagina.
Yeah, but okay.
Oh, do you mean
Well,
like
it's just
like
like-
fighting?
Like,
is it
Nicole,
an
why are
active-
you in such a bad mood today? I've been sandboxing all day.
Yeah.
Got it.
That
All
makes
right.
sense.
All
That
right.
makes sense.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
I'm with you now.
I got
Woke
it.
up with a little extra sand in the box.
Some sand in a box. Was that Alice in Chains?
That was the
reference?
original.
Yeah.
That was the original demo. Alice in Chains, sand in a box. Alex Pulido, any thoughts on what is sandboxing? What is sandboxing?
No one's used fighting terms.
Yeah, but that's not funny. It's also not true.
Could be.
I don't know. I mean, I know what some people think.
No Wikipedia thing.
It's some sand in your no-nos.
No nos.
Up in your no-nos. Sandboxing.
I know Nicole took your answer. I know you're gonna.
I was
okay.
I was thinking that. It had crossed my mind. I think that it is an abbreviation that the tech community uses for putting your sandwich in a lunchbox.
Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Okay.
You're going to sandbox.
That was-
That's what the people at the deli do a lot.
That
They
is-
do a
Sandbox.
whole day worth of sandboxing, and they
true.
feel good.
They do.
Get their
They do.
paycheck, go home.
All right, I like all these guesses. Now, some people think sandboxing is running or testing a program in a separate environment to prevent errors or security issues from spreading to other
Idiots.
programs. Some people think that.
Dummies.
But sandboxing, the true definition is taking a shit in a playground. That is sandboxing. Sandboxing.
Do you have
I
to
like
be in
that
the
one.
sandy area of the playground?
Not necessarily.
No, you can
that
do it on the
common,
slide.
Does it count with the
misconception.
protective safety
Rubber.
the
rubber
mesh,
they
that's
have
still
now?
sandboxing.
That's still
That's still
sandboxing?
sandboxing.
Sweet.
Where are there sandboxes these
How do
days?
you bury it?
Dog park?
Detroit. Yeah.
Shut me up.
Yeah.
I need to go there.
All right, we're doing good here. Okay, we're all tied up again. Here comes the final question here at the Scrum Masters quiz. The final question is always the curveball, not necessarily a tech question.
Ruh-roh.
We had the Jared's plot line here. He was trapped in that self-driving car. What are the names of the self-driving taxi cabs in Total Recall? What are the names of the self-driving taxi cabs in Total Recall? I'll take any guesses on this. I'm going to go for the actual answer on this.
Cars.
Somebody's got it. Cars. No? These are the taxi cabs. Yeah.
Taxi cars.
And I'm talking about the Arnold Schwarzenegger Total Recall, all right? I'm going to clarify that, not the Colin Farrell one. Although I think they're even called the same in that one.
Are they
if I'm not
called
mistaken.
Colin Farrell?
Can I ask you which was your preference?
Come on. Paul Verhoeven all the way. Come on.
All right.
Come on. All right.
He's
Clock
OG.
ticking. No
Taxi
guesses?
cabs
No
and Total
guesses?
Recall.
Johnny Cabs. Johnny
That was
Cabs.
probably...
That sounds like a racial
Johnny
slur. Oh, man.
Johnny got a
Speaking
cab
of
and I
racial
don't care.
slurs, I just watched Clerks 2 this weekend.
Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Is that full of racials?
I don't know.
Yeah, he
think I've
tried to
seen it.
bring
Steaming
some
pile.
phrases back and retake them from racial slurness.
Like
the
what?
N-bomb?
No, PM.
PM, like you're sending me a private message about
Yeah,
it?
that's it. You're doing better than you did on the Scrum Master Challenge. It's fine.
Yeah. Not a fan of the Kevin Smith movies. Just got to put that out.
Wait,
there.
so who won that?
You guys are like personally
Guess what? Everybody
angered.
won. Everybody won the Scrum Masters
Yay!
quiz.
What do we win?
That's the episode. I'm going to show you as soon as we turn the camera off. I'll show it to you.
We're going to sandbox everybody.
Sandbox
You're gonna
me
get
all night long.
sandboxed.
You proud
We're
of
getting
us?
sandboxed. We want to thank our guests, Nicole Calisich and Alex Pulido. Nicole, for the listeners and fans out there, which I'm sure has now swarmed into the hundreds of thousands.
Oh, snap.
Where can they find you out there on the interwebs, Twitter, website?
In
what
life,
have
you can find me in Boston, Massachusetts on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Check it out.
No
Nice.
one's going to listen to this.
Nice.
Everybody's going to listen. Are you
Everybody
kidding
is.
me? Everyone's it's blowing up. In internet, you can find me at Calisich, CALAS as in Sam, ICH, or NicoleCalisich.com.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And Alex Pulido, we're keeping a low profile, but thanks for coming. If you want to share your Twitter, go right ahead.
No.
Nope. Okay. Keep it a low
His
profile.
Twitter
You guys can
is,
find me wandering the streets in Sand Hill Road.
Find
The
him
real
somewhere.
His Twitter is at Poor Man's Louis C.K.
At Poor Man's Louis C.K. or
like
at
Porn
Monkey
Man's.
Junction,
At
no
41
vowels.
Yeah, at 415.
At area code.
At area code 415.
Yeah, exactly. And he does not work at Twitch. We know that much. We've
Yeah,
learned
let's
that.
bring
You
it up
do
again.
not work at
I
Twitch.
do not. I
I'm gonna bring
certainly
it up
do
one
not.
more time.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
you,
We'll be
guys.
back with episode 7. Thank you.
Look at these gentlemen.
Always reminding you to stay compressed, everybody. And bye.
You did it wrong again.
Come on. And bye.
Whoa.
Way better.
There we go. All right.